right now.
Oh, we're live.
All right, so this is a second edition of songs Nick should probably not attempt to sing.
Nice.
The first one was Matt. You were gone. I sang. What was it? The Lights by Journey.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. So this is probably in the top 3 songs by this particular band. Songs I like, but I abridged it because it's too long of a song. But all right. Look at who Chris is fighting. Look at the old man crying. Look at Matt, he's sighing. The way they've always done before. My hands are tied. The story shift from side to side, and we all hear the night and now while Jack distracts with another joke. But all these things are swept aside. But the truth will come tonight on the Rebel Cast. No, 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 no. It's time to start the Rebel Cast.
That might be your best one yet.
I
know you broke a lot.
finisher.
I know you broke a lot of glass on that when you were at the high pitch.
I did. Yeah.
I thought
It's like-
was Jay on here all of a sudden?
know.
I didn't know channeling you in
It's
there.
like having Ella Fitzgerald. But no, I liked it. I like the beginning part, especially with Chris.
Of course. I actually thought for a half a second, I was still going to pick on Chris, but I thought about changing it aside from the usual him beating up an old man, but it just made sense to put it in that song. So
Remember, Nick, it's not a lie if you believe it.
it's true. We all know what happened. You know.
Yeah.
That story actually came up the other day at work because I was with some people from work. And it's funny. I was like, let me tell you that story. This is really funny, guys. And it just didn't land, right? Because
Right.
we don't fucking care about your show.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, you understand? Like, this is what the joke is on the show. And like, this is what they do. And yeah, great. Cool. How about whatever.
Yeah. Well, get off my lawn, old man. It's just-
Yeah, exactly.
Randy asked, what band is this? This is track 1 off of Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 2. It's called Civil War.
Yes, and it has
I did not know that.
Really?
it has the Cool Hand Luke.
Go ahead and look at you. What we've got here is
A
failure
failure
to
to communicate.
Yeah. I've always
Great
loved
line.
Use Your Illusion 2 more than Use Your Illusion 1. I thought 2 was more solid effort. And Civil War, I just always gravitated towards that song more than even November Rain and Don't You Cry and all off of those 2 records. I've always liked Civil War.
Yeah.
This chair is so squeaky.
Matt,
It's
you
so
had a thought?
squeaky.
Oh.
No, I'm not. Just not gonna say it. It seems appropriate that you'd be drawn to the song about Civil War, right?
Ah, see,
That's
you gotta-
right there.
when you have a-
Listeners
when
were
you have a
actually
shot, you
emailing
should
me.
Take it.
Okay.
You know, like,
Well, this is no Hamilton.
oh,
Nice.
I was thinking more like Lincoln, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I was taking old school.
old school back. then.
Actually, when you were screeching like that, it maybe was part of Lincoln. I don't know. Maybe he probably
Yeah.
screeched. Was it Mary Lincoln was probably screaming like that?
Why did they kill me? Yeah,
JP likes my BJ background.
BJ and the Banana.
BJ
So,
and the banana.
BJ and the bear.
At this point, I'm just on this epic journey of where you're going to put the banana next. You know, because I feel like this is
Wait, what?
maybe.
you really want to know that?
I'm trying to keep this
Bend
show
over and I'll
as PG
show
as
you.
possible.
Really? When have we ever tried to keep the show PG?
Yeah, Well, I think it started last week because I think we were talking about shows, and I think JP was in the chat and brought up BJ and the Bear, and I said,
Yeah.
and you guys were like, huh?
I
What?
got the reference. So that's all the
Yeah.
image. I was like, yeah,
Hey,
we talked about it.
Don't throw us under the bus.
No, I'm just saying you guys didn't know you. And the funny thing is, I'm trying to remember. I remember the show was about this guy, BJ, and he had a monkey,
Right.
and all the other truckers were like good-looking women. because when you're driving around the country, what do you see? Truckers,
Great looking women driving 18
great looking,
wheelers.
you know,
Really?
Yeah.
So that's what you see. I mean, it was
Large
a 70s
Marge.
show. Large Marge, there you go. But I don't know if he solved. I can't remember. Maybe JP would remember. Did he solve crimes? I can't remember what the whole premise was.
I
remember watching it. You didn't watch Star Trek. How are you going to watch BJ and the Bear? So I remember watching BJ and the Bear, but I don't know. I can't remember what it was about. I remember watching it because there was good looking women on it every week.
Was it a prequel to Every Which Way But Loose?
No, that's what I think of too. Exactly.
It was probably more of
it's like the poor man's Every Which Way But Loose, right?
It was probably more of Smoking the Bandit, I guess, maybe.
No. Smoking the Bandit was 80s.
Was it 80s?
No, Smoking the Bandit's 78. The first one.
Okay, but BJ and the Bear comes before that, though.
I don't know. I don't know if it did.
Well, if only we had a device that could look up the.
Well, there was the truckers were big because you had that song "Convoy" come out in like '75, and then they made the movie with Convoy with what's her name?
No, that's
Ally McGraw.
That's over the top, JP.
Yeah, Ally McGraw and Chris Christopherson were in Convoy, and Burt Young from Rocky fame. Bear should have done a buddy movie with Clyde, Every Which Way But Loose. Yeah, he was just Clyde was an orangutan. He was just a little chimp. Every which way.
Wasn't there a show? Wasn't there a show on? And Jack, you would probably know best about this, where there were like monkeys dressed up as like maybe secret agent stuff, but like there were monkeys dressed up as doing secret agent. It was like
Planet of the Apes.
It's like Get Smart mixed with just ape or like monkeys doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Is this ringing any bells?
No, it's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
Get Smart Rings. That's a great show.
No. I mean, it was like Get Smart except with monkeys or orangutans doing it. Yeah, doing the work. So
I know there was a show. It was something about a family, and a monkey.
Randy, Lancelot, Link. Thank you. I knew there was something out there that existed with
I
this.
do not remember that show.
Jack remembers everything.
No, I'm sorry. I was too busy watching Star Trek. So,
I was too busy getting.
They based the Cable Guy movie off of Jack's life. Just Mike Stedman for the TV. Just he learned the facts of life from watching the facts of life.
I think by the time Facts of Life came out, Jack had it pretty much under control, right?
Well, you'd like to think so.
I was still.
Does he have it under control now?
I don't have it under control now. So, I remember taking the good and taking the bad. I remember that. Mostly it was
like
bad,
the old
though.
banana. Yeah.
I remember watching the original Facts of Life, the first one that had everybody in it, and they said, "No, you're gone." And Molly Ringwald was one of them. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. They cut down.
She's in Facts of Life.
She was in the original pilot, Facts of Life, the first one.
I never knew that.
No, you know it now.
Well, that's what it's like. I always like it when you see
Started in
actors
'79
at the very beginning.
BJ and the Bear.
No, Facts of Life.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
I'll look up BJ.
Michael Biehn, the actor, from Terminator,
Careful, look up BJ,
Tombstone, and all that. He was actually in Grease, and I didn't know that until.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the other athletes, just like in the background.
Oh, okay.
Who?
George Clooney was in the Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there you go.
79 as well for BJ and the Bear. 79 to 81. So
when did Smokey the Bandit come out?
I'm pretty sure it's 78.
Okay. So Smoking the Bandit came out before BJ.
But nobody can tell me what BJ and the Bear was about, what the premise was.
Well, the
JP in the chat says, didn't he drive a truck around killing people? Oh, never mind. That was OJ and the Bear. Talk about the biggest non-story of like the decade. OJ Simpson dying.
I've yet to see anyone not be happy about this, which is kind of strange.
I saw he had cancer, and I don't usually wish this on people with cancer, but I hope it was painful.
You could say
OJ?
you could say that he was eclipsed by other things.
A little bit.
As a kid, I grew up. O.J. Simpson was playing for the Buffalo Bills. He was larger than life. Who didn't want to be O.J. Simpson? Then he went to become an actor. He was, TV. He was a movie star. He was larger than life. And in one fateful night, he threw it all away. I mean, I guess he was an asshole behind the scenes. We didn't know. But I just went, God, what just...
I mean, I think most people thought he was guilty anyway, But when the video came out of him barging in those guys' hotel rooms, they were selling his merchandise,
right?
That to me it removed any doubt that he was capable of killing somebody. You could just see how psychotic he was, through that video, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a guy who's got some fucking issues right there.
But he was so. He was one of those guys that just hit it well. I know it hurts. He advertised for Hertz.
I know. I did like him in the Naked Gun movies, though.
Naked Gun.
He's awesome in the Naked Gun movies.
He's in the Roots movie, miniseries.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
at least I've forgotten about it if he was.
Because there was a scene where he's supposed to outrun LeVar Burton, and LeVar Burton outruns O.J. Simpson. If I remember correctly, that's again. But still, nobody can tell me about BJ and the Bear.
Okay, I was reading this while you guys were talking.
All right,
so,
thank you.
Way to pull up Boston. Nice job.
So BJ is a professional freelance trucker who travels the country's highways with his pet chimpanzee bear, named after Bear Bryant, the famed football coach at the University of Alabama.
Let's click now. Yes.
Okay. In the pilot movie, it is stated that BJ had spent 2 years in Vietnam as a medical helicopter pilot. So, he didn't drop any bombs. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not responsible for Agent Orange. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was a prisoner of war in North Vietnam. And then after his helicopter went down over the DMZ. So
I feel like this show needs one last twist, though. It could be like a Dukes of Hazzard type of thing to fit into that late 70s, early 80s theme, where it's like, is he always in the back of the truck, like bricks and bricks of pot? Just that's what he's doing.
I don't think in '79 they had bricks and bricks of pot.
I'm just saying that's what would have made the show, though. He's just dropping off. He's like Santa Claus for hippies. He's just.
But what did he? What was he solving crimes every week? What was the?
It basically summed it up with the episodes typically deal with BJ uncovering or getting mixed up with crime in the area.
All right, so there you go. So that's what it was about.
A local resident, usually a young, beautiful woman, appealing to him for help. So you hit the nail on the head earlier.
Well, there was always a pretty girl on the show. Just saying.
I'm still hung up on my plot twist. I mean, it would have been awesome. I mean, think about the monkey, with like a little switchblade, and he's the guy you give the money to. Yeah. And all of a sudden he just shows up like waddling along with a brick of fucking pot.
Well, you don't mess with Bear.
Yeah, you don't mess with the Bear. Exactly. Bear was really running that show.
Yeah, he would slit your throat without even thinking about it.
Exactly.
He went to
then those big teeth will just smile.
Bear went to a Patriots game and beat up an old guy. But Magnum PI, maybe that's where Magnum PI got their premise from BJ and the Bear, because remember Magnum and his friends all served in Vietnam. That's how they knew each other. And that's how there were a lot of backstories. We go back to Vietnam because there was that one with have you seen the Sunrise, which is probably the best two-part Magnum series. I mean, two-part episodes during the whole series. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
I don't think I've watched Magnum PI since it ended.
It's a great.
Oh,
series.
I definitely caught some on some reruns. But it's been 10 years.
I won't go into the whole premise. If you haven't seen, go back and watch. Have you seen the Sunrise, Ivan? Anyway, the Bears.
I can speak for Chris and I that we've all seen the Sunrise, Jack.
Well, this has a meaning behind it, and then Magnum shoots the guy.
Oh, spoilers!
Like shoots the guy.
No, he shoots the. There's a Russian guy who had them in Vietnam.
Oh, is the Russians
torture him, but he had brainwashed TC to say some TC flew the chopper, like like BJ, right?
Like BJ, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Get to the chopper.
So it was to kill this UN meeting, and they were meeting in Hawaii, and he was supposed to eliminate him, but Magnum saved the day. And then he ends up shooting Ivan because Ivan uses the N-word in the episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Okay.
but it was the '80s, so it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel for TC. I mean, you don't fuck around with TC.
No.
So that was the 80s where like you could have two initials as your name. Your name might be like one syllable word, like John, but you'd still be called something like BJ or
Oh, yeah. It's still actually fairly common in the South.
well.
It's either a double name or initials.
Because
Actually,
they can't spell a
JP.
full name.
JP.
JP,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Your name is John. We got to make I can't spell John. We got to make a nickname.
even
sorry.
shorter. We got
Can we just call you J.O.?
not
Gonna work here anymore.
Not gonna work.
there was a
JP says,
speaking.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sorry,
Have you
JP.
seen Office
didn't mean to
Space?
interrupt you on that.
No,
What's
he's
that?
saying his name is JP. So
I see. Yeah.
Speaking of monkey-themed TV shows, I just happened to dive into Documentary Now. I don't know if you guys have watched that spoof documentary series by Fred Armisen and Bill Hader. It's on Netflix. They have some pretty funny. They basically make fun of other documentaries with fake documentaries, and some are like just 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, and they kind of go all over the place. The one that I just picked or watched just the other day was called My Monkey Grifter, and it's done as a spoof of My Octopus Teacher, and it's all about this guy getting grifted by a monkey from a zoo. So it just reminded me, Nick, you talking about yes, Treast. It's the stamp of approval there. And same with JP. Both have seen Documentary Now. So
well, I'm gonna have to add that to my ever-growing list.
There's some really funny. They do a send off of the Talking Heads.
So is it them
documentary.
doing like fake documentaries?
They're doing fake documentaries. Fred Armisen and Bill Hader don't appear in every single one, but I would say in the first two seasons you see them more.
This has been around for two seasons.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, it's been around since 2015. So
wow.
Yeah, they have.
How many seasons
2000 when?
Well, so it's not super regular, but they did a season in 2015, a season in 2016. They did a 2019 season, and then they did one in 2022. So they're not.
Yeah. So okay.
But it's spaced out, and they have different people that But they.
I still need to watch the final season of Barry.
Oh, you haven't seen the? Oh, okay. I liked it, but
I liked it, but I don't remember. I gave it just like a okay. Yeah, it wasn't like.
So it's great.
Yeah, some people might think.
And yet you don't listen to him when he says go see Dune 2, you know? Yeah, okay. Fine.
Where'd Chris go?
I think
we just get the cat. We just
is
get the
is there an old guy next door who's gonna go punch in the face?
I think his phone keeled over. And
it says leaking for the
I know I watched the show. Actually, my wife started watching it.
Watching what?
The completely made up adventures of Dick Turpin on Apple TV. Dick Turpin. My wife said she stopped it, and usually she doesn't do this. She goes, I'm stopping this knowing that this is your sense of humor. You're going to like it. It's a British show, and it is out there. It's one of those shows you can't have the back because there's signs written up. I mean, you got to pay attention what's going on. It's really slapstick. And I go, you're completely right. I love it. I can't.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, slapdick.
What's slapdick?
Play a little game of slapdick over here. No big deal.
It's like pickleball.
You just you fired up Chris there.
Yeah, Chris got excited. Woo! No, but it's on Apple TV. It's just a crazy show. It's like 17th century, I think, or something like that.
Oh, okay. So it's a way back. Okay.
Yeah, it's a way back show.
You had me at British shows, but now when it's British period pieces and a comedy,
it's
hitting the trifecta here for me.
The guy that plays Dick Turpin is just. I mean, they had Yes, the episode I watched yesterday was about witches, and someone has a sign: "Witches get stitches." And
Nice.
so you really have to pay attention to what's going on with the show, because there's just different things in the background. If you got it like background noise, you're not gonna get most of the jokes. So
If she floats, she's a witch.
yeah.
Speaking of Apple TV, they recently released 2 new shows. Last week was Sugar with Colin Farrell, and I'm sticking with it. It's not really my type of show because it's a noir, which I tend to not like because I don't like those detectives talking out loud to the audience type shows. But I'm still going to watch it. And then one got released today with Michael Douglas called Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin's Cindy and I are going to watch Franklin.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that tomorrow.
Who doesn't like a guy that's bald, ugly, and fat who's a player?
Exactly. I assume at some point
gives you hope.
I'm assuming at some point we'll see him diddle Abigail Adams too, because she got around.
Oh yeah. By the way, who sent me the Abigail Adams book? Was there anyone in here?
Not me. No.
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 You're getting random.
I get this, and my first thought was one of you guys, and I said, well, maybe Randy, maybe Sherry.
Yeah.
I said, I go, because I get this book. I go, she goes, what's this? I go, I don't know. I open it up. I didn't order anything. I go,
that's funny.
Abigail Adams. She goes, why would you get a book on Abigail Adams? Abigail Adams. I go, well, she's kind of a tramp. And I pointed it out, and I'm still. In fact, I was looking at John Quincy Adams.
Mm-hmm.
He looks a lot like Thomas Jefferson.
He definitely has a taller, slender build like Thomas Jefferson,
and he has that same kind of face.
Yeah,
and so I'm like going, I need to do some research and find out when Abigail Adams and Thomas Jefferson first met, and when was John Quincy Adams born? Because I'm telling you, he doesn't look anything like John Adams. No.
Well,
anyone in the chat? Did anyone in the chat send me the book? Send that Jack and Nancy.
So is it a biography on her life, or is it?
It's a children's book.
A children's book. Okay.
I'm thinking it's like a historical book.
No, I go. Well, this won't have that in. Well, who knows? It might have it in.
This won't have it. Oh, it does.
It was banned in Florida. That's all I know.
Okay.
So. A lot of graphic images. A lot of teeth removing, and putting them on the shelf. No.
Speaking
awful.
Sherry says it was not her.
Oh, okay. I wonder who it was. It has to be. I don't know. It has
Maybe
to be
it's
somebody
Dan.
that. No, I don't think he listens to us. So
I don't think.
And speaking of chopping on cherry trees, I've been watching the History Channel on George Washington.
Oh,
so yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah,
it's called Washington. What?
It's about watching how his career, how he started out, and how he wanted to be a British, officer, but they wouldn't let him be a British officer, and he kind of got pissed off. It's all right. We're gonna take you down.
That's exactly.
And how he chopped down the cherry tree to build his teeth. So that was the whole thing behind the cherry tree.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Well, they say at one point George. They think George Washington not to be a liar. The whole cherry tree thing. George Washington lied all the time. Well, if he's a successful person, politician, that equals lying, right? Am I right?
Don't besmirch the good name of George Washington. Oh my gosh, his children died for this country.
He didn't have any kids. We had step.
Yeah, because they died. They died of getting colds.
Dysentery.
Yeah. Was it? Did they have
No.
dysentery? Oh, okay.
No.
They were going.
That would
west.
relate to the Ghosts, the show Ghosts.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm a couple episodes behind on. So
you gotta catch up.
Got to catch up. It's easy to fall behind on shows, Abbott Elementary. I really enjoy that show, but I forget about it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we've got a couple episodes to watch. So
yeah, but I've been finding this. Sometimes I just like to get into I watched Andrew Jackson, his thing. If it weren't for the Indians, he might have gone down as a.
It's true.
He did a lot of good things, but he was terrible to the Indians. I like one person tried to make it. He goes, "Well, to be fair, other presidents." He said Madison, Monroe. He went down the line. Adams and they tried to do the same thing. They just didn't do it as far as Jackson did.
Yeah, we've never had a great president, like a saint president. No. Like every single president has some skeletons in their closet and stuff.
But the Trail of Tears is like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, I mean, the thing is, the Cherokee, had their own language. They were assimilating into the United States. They could have easily been granted that whole area, North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Georgia, and been perfectly fine. But it's like all things, you discover gold and get the fuck out. And that's
it always comes down to the dollars. Yep. But it's just like one guy trying to make it seem like it was okay. I'm like, no. And then they had another guy, I forget what Indian nation he was part of, but he's some professor. And he's like they're talking about how Jackson, his troops slaughter these Indians, and one baby is left alive. He goes, "I will adopt this baby." And then people are trying to say, "What a great thing!" He goes, "He literally slaughtered all the other people." And they said he was politically motivated, so he basically did it. They say to help his, look.
And that baby's name was called Token.
Token after the author.
But Jackson was an interesting guy. I mean, he was a fascinating guy. I mean, but it's some of the things that they do. You just go, "Oh God!" It's even Washington. He owned slaves, and you're like going, "Geez,"
Yeah. But it's even like Jackson up until that point was he was famous for Battle of New Orleans, which was actually fought after the war was over. But it's like, okay,
they didn't say that in the thing. They said, "Oh, without him."
No, they wouldn't win.
The war would have been
under British rule. I know, but I'm just saying what they said in the miniseries.
Well, they definitely like to take some liberties. So,
liberty.
We're not sponsored by them, by the way.
So anyway, I've been watching a lot of that stuff because I just find it fascinating. And just once in a while, I just want.
It is. It's
But you go, hey, gosh, God.
Speaking about questionable decisions, don't you think we should take a commercial break?
I don't know. It's pretty questionable.
I don't know if I want to be responsible for that. I might run for president someday and be like, hey, remember when you took that commercial break and we weren't ready?
That's the thing. That's the thing that they're going to hold you to.
I don't want to be dragged down by that.
Sure.
So you take it, Matt. You'll never be president.
Probably not. Probably not. Don't really want to.
And when's the last time somebody from Indiana was president?
Yeah, he just went out for 3 days, got a cold, died. So.
My favorite president, he knew how to leave on a high note.
Yeah. I'm gonna give
down from here.
I'm gonna give a long speech that nobody can hear, so I don't have a microphone, and in this cold weather, and then die.
Yeah.
Did we take the break yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
27:33 or 32.
So I started watching For All Mankind again. So I'm on the current season.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last week.
What episode are you on?
I don't know. 3 or 4.
What happens?
You're probably a little bit further than I am.
So they
just
sent
go to Jupiter yet?
Have they reached Jupiter yet?
No, they just discovered the second asteroid.
Okay. All right, that's the one that crashes into Jupiter.
It was actually Uranus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, there was the thing that does crash into Jupiter in the 90s. But anyway, sorry, that's
Skylab.
No. There was a cosmic event where there was this like it just went right into Jupiter. It was in the 90s. They were.
I remember that, Matt.
So, thank you.
I'm with you, Matt.
Thanks. Okay.
I just remember Skylab. It was a big deal falling to the sky.
To the sky,
I thought that was a James Bond movie.
So. No,
that was Moonraker.
Oh,
Moonraker catches a lot of shit, but I like Moonraker.
I like Moonraker.
It basically is a copy of A Spy Who Loved Me, but it's still good.
Yeah.
And you get a happy ending for Jaws, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Finds love.
Who doesn't like Jaws?
Yeah, I'm a
I've
mass
also
murderer,
started-
but I love you.
I think
I'm
I've
about
read
halfway
fucking
through the
neck.
first episode of the new Fallout series.
Now that I've been curious about, like,
It so far it's pretty fucking good, dude.
okay.
Like, have you played the game?
No,
I
Oh.
have.
Okay, so
So,
fuck.
oh, we just lost Chris.
No, I'm here. Can you still hear me?
I still
Yeah, yeah.
You're
It's
still-
I
Don't
think-
worry about the picture.
I think fake Chris does a better job.
Yeah. I got rid of my Mac, so I'm kind of reconfiguring everything. I need to
Okay.
get it. I'm using my phone, but I'm using some third party app that does like, you know.
Is it because you don't want Mac to track you? The Apple products.
The
are-
quality is the quality of the.
Turn the light on. Turn it off. Turn it off. God damn it.
I was gonna say the quality. Red Rob.
So now I'm trying to like figure out how to.
I know, but you're making me fucking dizzy.
I'm fucking it up hard, aren't I? Yeah.
You make me dizzy, Miss Lizzie.
The perfect. Oh, perfection.
And then
It's
fucking
pass back to the
Flanagan.
kitty cat.
So Chris will come back, and when he does, he's going to
Right,
be
I
stronger
don't
than
think
I
ever.
don't think he ever actually leaves. I think just the video feed.
So you
Oh.
people, you people that are not watching live get to miss out on this great stuff. I mean,
Great content.
Or me just randomly going off.
And now I'm blurry. What the fuck, dude?
I would
This feed sucks.
actually. Speaking of that, I would actually love to. I mean, I witnessed it firsthand, but you. Just being a casual podcast listener at that
Yeah.
particular moment, just be like, "What the fuck?"
what are you talking about, casual listener? Hosts. Did I say
Perfection.
something?
This is
Yeah, that's
Oh.
good, Chris. That's
that's
Chris.
good. Don't even worry about
Yeah.
fixing it now. You
Kink in
look
my
great.
neck.
This is weird.
A little bit.
So I guess Shohei Ohtani didn't realize he had $16 million stolen from him. I guess. And I guess that there's
Oh, the gambling thing.
yeah, supposedly that because the interpreter pleaded guilty.
Right. Yeah, because
And-
the interpreter's taking the fall for the gambling.
Exactly because
And-
there's another 20. I guess he still owes the guy another 24. Well, he can't pay it now because the guy's been arrested. $24 million, and there's all kinds of others. It's like there is no fucking way the interpreter making that kind of money was the mastermind behind this thing. There is
Yeah.
no fucking way. But you know what?
Mhm.
I'm not going to go that way.
It's always the quiet one.
It's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, something's not right.
So
But baseball doesn't
it's
want to.
it's like
Is
Sean Combs, like
he's taking that whole town down, man. He's gonna wind up dead.
There's an NBA
Yeah.
player. There's an NBA player who's going to be banned for life because he gambled. Not Michael Jordan, some guy I'd never heard of. He's on the Raptors. Anyway,
Well,
but when
okay.
you're Ohtani, he has that green privilege.
So back to me.
diplomatic immunity.
So
Yes, go back to you.
the Fallout
Just been
show. So for those who have played the game,
Oh yeah.
I feel like, and again, I'm not even through the first episode yet. It's like I think it was a long episode. I think it was like an hour and a half or whatever for the first one. It's pretty true to the game. Like they do a nice job of like.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
Okay.
No, I'm glad it does. I'm really glad.
Jack's a big gamer,
They
Nice
do a
ball.
really nice. They've done a really nice job so far. It's interesting to see.
Extra wide paddle.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize while I was watching. What was that? The Apple TV show about the people living in the underground
Silo.
silo?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's
I
another
didn't
show I gotta
realize-
watch.
Silo is just a complete fucking ripoff of Fallout. Except like, the majority of the Fallout gamers you outside of the vault or the silo. This fairly quickly establishes the fact that it's going to be like a surviving in the wastelands type
So
of
they
show.
could have done a Lost combo then and had like Silo be season 1 and then Fallout be season 2. So it could
Oh.
it could have been like the tailies, in the
Yeah.
front of the plane.
They could have. It would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
And third season, what's the two people?
yeah.
Rose and Bernard.
No, not Rose Bernard.
Oh,
Nikki and Paulo.
then you throw that in random episode. Like, what the fuck?
But so far so good. I'm actually kind of impressed with the the tone of the first episode so far. So I'll report back in future episodes.
But yet you didn't
What
watch
streaming
Shogun?
platform is it on?
Amazon, isn't it?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started the second episode of Shogun, but I had to go to bed.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because Matt and I are sitting there praising Shogun last week, and you fuckers don't even bother.
I am watching. I watched an episode.
I get it. It's a commitment. It's a commitment, but you know,
this week's
so
episode, damn.
I don't think about it until I'm ready to go to bed, and I go, it's one of those shows you cannot be tired watching.
No,
that's true. No, there's some reading going on, and you know, paying attention to the. I just love the level of detail, the care to the story, and like the scale of it.
Does another guy take a bath in the second episode?
No, I don't think
No,
anyone
but
else.
Speaking of people that take baths in shows and very epic, I mean, right in the wheelhouse of things that you guys have talked about. I'm not done with it yet, but Three Body Problem is not about people that have body issues.
No.
So if you're looking at the title, thinking
That title, yeah, it throws you, because I thought it was gonna be about a murder or something. It was like Three Body Problem. I got it, yeah. Like, and then I was like, this is not what I thought it was gonna be.
So
and
good.
Here, I'm thinking it's like a fitness.
What's that on?
Thing. Like, okay, your body problem is
Netflix.
you're either in one of these three categories of body
I'm
problems.
telling you, Three Body Problem and Shogun are the two shows you need to be watching right now.
And
So you're
Three
telling
Body
me to
Problem.
stop watching George Washington.
It does not have Lostian conspiracies abound. So
There's some theories going on.
and I would say that Shogun has some, you know, obviously Nestor
Carbonell.
Mr. Robot.
Carbonell, yeah. But the level of care and craft into both shows is top notch. So
All right, so three body parts.
Three body parts.
Okay.
Three Body Problem.
Three body problems.
That's
like
like
I think I saw it and went, I don't have it. It's Sugar. My wife watched the first episode of Sugar.
I didn't like. I mean, Sugar's okay.
She was like,
it's like noir.
She goes,
I didn't really.
she goes, I don't know.
I'm gonna watch one more episode tomorrow of it. The third episode just got released tonight, and
If the second episode isn't called Honey Honey, then I'm not in.
well, part of me thinks it's gonna be like a major twist in it. It's present day. It's present day. Colin Farrell's a private detective.
So he's
And
a private dick.
He's a private dick, but he has that typical noir LA story where he's like constantly narrating to himself about everything. But everything that he is about is 1960s and 50s, and so you get a lot of these like flashbacks in his head of like old movies. And he drives an old vet, and so you kind of wonder, like, is it really happening? You know, like is it all in his head? Is he crazy? Like what's going on here? It's just kind of
so it's like a Mickey Spillane.
Yeah,
Didn't he talked? You know.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, and so I so far it hasn't sold me yet. But
because I looked at it and I said, I like Colin Farrell. I'm sure it's a detective show.
Yeah,
but I hope it's not one of those shows where he talks to himself.
It is
out loud. If he does that, I'm not going to watch it.
That's why they need a sidekick. You know.
Yeah,
like a monkey.
Right.
With a knife.
Perfect.
The monkey who's so heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the cute monkey.
Yeah, exactly. And he just goes around, shanking people.
Private Dick and the monkey.
Here's our murderer.
Who knew it was the monkey the whole time? I never saw
with a grin like that. How could he be a murderer?
He was always so happy. He'd dance and jump on.
Jack, you got to go back and watch Lancelot Link. You're missing out, man.
Lancelot Link.
You say that you're somebody from the 60s and 70s, and yet you've never.
But it was a Saturday morning show, right?
Well, don't besmirch it.
I was busy. So I had.
I was busy getting balls. Anyway, check it out, Lancelot Link.
I don't think I'm gonna go back and check it out.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna waste my time. If I didn't watch it, I didn't watch it.
Okay, if you're not gonna watch that, then watch at least Three Body Problems.
Definitely watch Three Body.
You were to say body parts, weren't you?
I'm just imagining this as like a grocery list that you've written on a piece of paper, and it says 3 body parts. Your wife gets it. What are you doing, Jack?
The title. Because who is it? Is it just Matt and I that have watched Three Body? Or did
No, I watched it.
No,
You
no,
watched
Chris did. Yeah.
Chris and I watched it. Yeah, like the title "Three Body Problem."
two
When
serial
you figure
killers.
out, like when you find out what the three body problem is, you're like, oh, like
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
yeah. You're like,
Is
okay.
it like they have
Weirdly-
like bad VO or something? Is it?
No,
Yeah.
like you will never figure it out. You'll never figure it out until they finally tell you, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could try to guess and guess, but you're not going to get through.
You're
So
never
it's
gonna-
if someone has a problem with their body,
No,
They've got 99 problems, but the body
But
ain't
the
one.
body ain't one.
I don't know. I guess maybe I'll give it
The
a shot.
the first episode, as Nick described it, is kind of like a huh, and then it takes the second episode to be like, oh. But the third episode is
Got a
what got
thunderstorm
me.
happening
The
here.
third
Yeah,
episode, once
that's
I
it.
got to the end, I was like, okay,
exactly. That's what I said. That's
game
exactly how I felt.
fucking on.
Yeah.
So I have
Exactly.
to watch 3 episodes before I find out what the body problem is.
Well, I think it's because
No.
it takes it a while to really reveal what this world and the story's about.
It's almost like a fortune cookie.
It's
yeah, it
unfolding.
really is.
present. Is it present day?
It is present day. But like the first episode, though, like I said, it takes place from this Chinese woman's perspective back in the 60s or 70s during the
Right.
Red Revolution. And so
Mhm.
a lot of that first episode is a lot in Chinese. And so it's a little, I wouldn't say it's a chore to watch, but it's just those people who don't want to read subtitles might kind of go, I don't know if this show's for
Oh,
me.
it's another subtitle show.
No, just that first
No.
episode. And then, and then once you get, like, by the end of the third episode, you will be hooked. You will be hooked by the end of the third
It's a
episode.
great fucking TV show. The writing
Because
is
now
awesome.
I'm hooked because now I know what the what the problem is.
Yeah, BOED and arthritis. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Mike makes a good point. Yeah.
The
Those are
body
three
problem
main-
is you
those are
gotta-
the 3 ones when you get older. So
Yeah.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Mm.
Did I use deodorant today? I don't know. I don't
often
care.
like, why do old people always smell of like baby
'Cause they don't
powder?
give a fuck.
Yes, they do have that weird smell. And you're like, why is that? Why do all old people
I think
smell that
because
way?
I think a lot of them put like a powder on them.
Yeah,
Mm.
used
Oh,
to be-
what? It's like
that used-
powder? Mm.
yeah.
used
You
to
know,
be
they
like the
put
thing-
Gold
that used to be like
Bond
the
and baby
Yeah,
Oh,
powder.
dude, I'm a
like-
big fan of Gold Bond, man.
Oh.
I've been using Gold Bond forever.
Well, you've been old forever.
Yeah.
Oh, Gold Bond is the best thing to cure swamp ass and or ball chafing.
Yes.
Like with one application. Your
like-
Why
balls
is that
will be
not our?
back to
Why is
normal.
that not our sponsor? How they have not sponsored our show yet?
Chris,
And
I'm-
this goes back to the rooftop bar at Comic-Con back, I don't know how long ago. Last time I was
Right.
there.
Right.
And we had this lengthy conversation on the rooftop bar about people who didn't know about Gold Bond.
Oh yeah,
I think
I remember that conversation. Yeah.
I think I was on an island with myself. Nick, were you part of the Gold Bond movement? I think you might have been.
I remember very distinctly having a large
Tim.
argument about Gold Bond.
Tim was with me. Tim was definitely with me.
Well,
Well, that's not helpful.
I know that's not a selling point.
I mean, in the South, especially, you're playing football or baseball thing where you're wearing tight clothes, you're putting Gold Bond on, because it's just
Yeah. Or it's also a good remedy. Like,
Yeah.
you know how if you've been up on your feet all day long, right, and
So you're
the
saying
next
athlete's
day,
foot, athlete's balls?
no, not athlete's foot, like you know, if you've been up and about all day long, walking around, and you get ball chafe, it happens.
or just
You
think
get
about your
ball
ball
chafe.
sticking to your leg.
So if you take like a handful of that powder and you just
Especially in
fucking
the summer-
slap it on your
especially in the
nuts
summertime.
before you go to bed, you're gonna wake up in the next morning and that ball chafe is gonna be gone. It's guaranteed to work.
I'd like to apologize to any female listeners who probably didn't want that amount of detail on human balls, but
Hey man, the more you know. Doo-doo-doo.
sure. Buy your man
if
some
you,
Gold Bond.
If you have like this, like kind of
Wow.
That's what you should just draw detailed balls in this. This is my drawing for the night. Anyone who sends an email gets a free drawing from Matt of some balls. Don't forget the hairs.
those are raisins.
Uh,
Anyway, I'm
Those are
imagining
some
a
big
future,
raisins.
I'm imagining Chris in the
they're
future
prunes.
using some type of a hemp CBD
Totally.
Gold
What do
Bond.
you mean,
Like,
the
Future?
yeah,
future?
That was Tuesday.
I
That was
don't know what
that was
the
30 minutes
dispensaries have.
ago.
I'm
Remember
doing
when
it right now.
You remember when his camera went off?
Yeah.
It was just like, well, it's like you guys saw Crazy Stupid Love, didn't you? I love that film. With
No.
Ryan Gosling.
Yes, yes.
Oh man, it's a 2011 film with Steve Carell, Ryan
Oh, yeah,
Gosling,
I saw
and
that.
Oh, what's the female?
hot
she just won Best Actress.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, yeah.
Yes.
And
Who is a Padres fan?
So there's one scene going at Chris. Basically, early in the film, Steve Carell they're going through like that middle marriage hump where the wife's kind of and him have just gotten content with their relationship, and she admits that she's cheated on him. Anyway, he's been at a bar like
it's with Ryan Gosling, right?
Yeah, he meets Ryan Gosling. No, she doesn't cheat with Ryan Gosling, but Ryan Gosling's like a young guy at a bar, and Steve Carell has just been on this just negativity tour at the bar, just like this guy cheated with my wife, and so like Ryan Gosling like it takes him under his wing to teach him how to be a man again. And there's this one scene though where you see they're at like a spa, like a men's gym spa. And they're in the locker room, and all you see is Ryan Gosling naked, and Steve Carell's head is right where his junk is, and he's doing the gold bond, and he's like, and Steve Carell is like says something. He's like, "Does this bother you?" He's like, "No, I'm perfectly fine." He's like, "Dude, my Schwartz has been in your face for like the last 20 minutes. If this doesn't bother you, we got another problem." And it's a good film, Chris. You'll like it. It's all
right. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love. Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those that kind of fell under the radar, but I think everyone who watches it really enjoys it.
I would agree.
There's no monkey though.
And gold bond for your balls.
I don't think so. No, I don't remember there being any monkey. So
no monkey, no movie.
Speaking of movies, I put this out to the Facebook group. I decided hey, let's put a poll out there for a genre just to get the ball rolling.
Oh, right.
See. It's a nice twist of votes.
It was. Now I also thought, hey, do we all pick the same genre, or should we pick from the top four?
I think it has to be all the same genre because
all the same genre.
Yeah, because it puts people in a focus of because if you say like romantic comedy, like if one of us does romantic comedy and another person does action, you're going to pick a totally different type of director and different kind of stars, and then some people are going to vote based on that.
But maybe I want like a Michael Bay rom-com.
A lot of explosions.
Transformers.
And our first kiss.
It's Transformers with Megan Fox.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm going for. Megan Fox, rom-com, Michael Bay, and her love interest
Decepticons.
It's Megatron. It's a meet cute, really. Because you start off thinking, oh, they're never gonna fall in love, and then they do. And it's so sweet.
But then they blow up together.
He uses Soundwave as a boombox, like in the rain scene.
That's perfect.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go see that movie. Is there a monkey?
Okay, see, I picked. Well, I hadn't gotten that far yet, but if there's a budget for it, maybe we can make a robot.
How expensive is it to hire a monkey? Some bananas,
a lot more expensive than what it used to be in the 70s.
Bananas are expensive.
The animal laws were a lot more loose and free.
Speaking of expensive, I went to Krispy Kreme donuts. My granddaughter wanted donuts, so we go there. I get 6 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, they're expensive as shit now.
What do you think it costs for
$10?
6 now? Yeah,
$6.
$11.38.
Go higher.
$13.78.
It was $13.62.
Because crazy.
It
used to be $11 for a dozen.
And the donuts are smaller and they don't taste as good. I think they've taken something. They've taken something out of the
donuts were in the pool.
But I forgot that it's like $3 more to get a dozen.
Yeah.
But I said I'll just get 6 donuts, and they go, "Can you pull forward?" I go, "Sure." He goes, "That'll be 13." I go, "Wait, did you say that was $13.62 for 6 fucking donuts?" I go, "All right."
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I
noticed that as well, because like there's not a Krispy Kreme donut, and this far north you have to go closer to Denver to the nearest Krispy Kreme. But yeah, I used to, when I'd fly into the airport, I'd stop at the Krispy Kreme, get a dozen, or eat them over the next week or so. And yeah, and it used to always be $11 or for basically 80 cents, 85 cents per donut. You're like, oh yeah, no problem. But yeah, this last year or two, they just doubled in price. And you're like, this is bullshit.
And they used to be the donut of choice, and they're just not very good. Did you know? Sherry says, you know, if the hot light is on, you can get free glazed donuts, but you got to ask.
So it's like the red light district.
Miami Mike says, "How much does a monkey cost?" Aaron Rodgers is getting 112 million for 3 years.
Heyo.
Zing!
No, I was just like, oh my god, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
I said, I won't go back, but she likes the chocolate donut, so I.
Wait, the chocolate donut? You didn't get the actual Krispy Kreme donut?
I got 2
Glaze?
of those.
Yeah, the original glaze.
She likes the
chocolate covered donut. Yeah.
Chocolate covered donut with sprinkles on it.
Yeah,
I remember when Krispy Kreme made its way into New England, and I was working in downtown Boston at the time, and at the Prudential Center in Boston, and they were there, and they opened up in the Prudential Center, and everyone thought it was the best thing ever, and then all of a sudden they just closed down because there's a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner in this
Gotta
town.
go to Dunkin's. Dunkin's.
That, I mean, it's definitely a Southern thing for sure. I think Krispy Kreme is superior because that's just what I grew up with. I like the light, fluffy, donut at Krispy Kreme.
I like a donut that has some substance.
See, that's where, like, New England, when you think of Dunkin', it's like a cake donut. It's like
that's what I want.
thick, it's still a good donut, but they're just different.
You're talking about donut holes. You're talking about donut holes, Jack.
So I grew up we're in Dunkin' Donuts land. In Massachusetts, there's tons. It's just they're everywhere. It's like the Tim Hortons of the United States, right? Or I don't know, the Waffle House of the North. But like I grew up in a town that literally had what?
I thought the Waffle House was the South.
It is mostly.
Yeah,
you said North.
Of the North.
Yeah,
never
Waffle
mind.
House of the. I got what you're saying now.
There you go.
I really wasn't listening to that.
And he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Was there a monkey at Dunkin'?
But I grew up going to the Dunkin' Donuts. Like, time to make the donuts. Like the old guy, the commercial. And this makes no sense to anyone who lives outside New England because you never saw the Dunkin' Donuts commercials from back in the 80s.
I can say that thing all the time, and people are like, "What?"
Time to make the donuts.
It totally dates me generationally. If you
but
say
you used to walk
donuts.
into Dunkin' Donuts, and they'd have like a window into the bakery where you could see them making the donuts.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Like, they're not made in house. They're made in some like factory somewhere and shipped in, or they're made in like big batches and they're frozen. They brought them in. But I used to be able to walk in, like look to your left, look to the plate glass window, and see them like dipping the donuts into the oil, frying the dough, and doing it was awesome. And that was when the donuts were amazing.
Yeah.
Now they're good. They're just consistently good. They're not like great. They're just
I wonder though
conveyor belt donuts.
about
things
like that, because I was reading a thread talking about 80s candy and how like even if 80s candy is still around today, for some reason people don't like it as much as they did in the 80s. And I'm like, and they wonder if is it a change in ingredients, or is it just your taste buds change and the newness of food is not exactly memory. It's like when Planters cheese balls came back out like 5-6 years ago. I ate nothing but Planters cheese balls as a kid. I loved them more than anything. And
you did look like President Trump. I will say that.
All right, that's it. I'm plucking out.
Wow. Hey, no. What did we do? Please come back.
You called him Trump.
That was Jack.
Orange Planters cheese balls. Come on, guy. I wasn't actually calling him Trump. Jeez.
Yeah, but like when they came back out, I ordered like a whole crate of those.
I remember that.
Yeah, because you weren't sure if it was going to be like a short time or were they going to be around.
Yeah, you made such a big deal about it. I got some. I was like going.
I got some too.
They're all right.
And did I?
See, I mean they're great. I mean but they didn't capture the. It's kind of like the Ecto Cooler for Jay, or
you can't go back.
Yeah,
you can't go back.
It's I like to Fantasy Island, to me, the TV
Welcome
show
to Fantasy Island,
was so cool and amazing. Did I watch the show? Not really. I usually played with my toys, but the idea of Fantasy Island was a lot cooler. If you go back and rewatch it, you're like, what the fuck is this show?
Right.
It's like, this is all done on a studio set. They're not on a fucking island.
This
isn't.
That's why I don't watch 80s cartoons again.
You're saying that
that's well, yeah. It is. It's fake. They weren't on an island the whole time.
So we should read some of the comments here. So Will Fry wrote, just landed in Boston, and the first thing I did was to see if you guys were still live. What has my life become?
Welcome.
Welcome
to your life.
I'm imagining he's still on the plane and we're just like
Just like
yakking
what,
and
yeah.
he's like waiting for. Yeah, I just said thank you.
Will, where are you staying? Let's find out. Where are you going to be?
Yeah. And then
what pod?
my Mike was being a nice smart ass. I'll try to do my shitty Boston accent. Did Will park his car in Harvard Yard and check in on the after dark? Okay, that's it.
On the Boston accent.
That was your
That's not real.
nice.
Oh, on the jet bridge. He's legit in the fucking plane. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Oh,
Welcome to
yes.
the airport. That's awesome.
We're right there with you on that seat, man.
Enjoy the. Oh, you're staying in the Southeast.
Yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
South- yeah.
Southeast is a good time.
Have a Northie.
You missed
while
St.
you're in the
Patty's
Southie.
Day when you could have gotten your ass kicked.
Go to Dunkin'. Go to Dunkin'.
Go to Dunkin'. Yeah.
You
Well,
can't
there's
watch
literally
them
one.
make the
There's
donuts
just one in
anymore.
his terminal, actually. So you could go to Dunkin' right now.
You know, you're saying watching reminded me. We had Winchell's Donuts in San Diego. We used to ride our skateboards up there, and you could see, like you're saying, you could see them making that. They would show
Yeah.
you making the donuts, and that was part of the fun.
That's
was the
part of
first place
the excursion.
and that was the first place I ever had a donut hole.
Oh, I don't know. Those are awesome. You can still do that Krispy Kreme if it's the actual one that actually makes them. Yeah.
I'm so done with Krispy Kreme.
Shut up,
It
Jack.
just it sucks. I mean,
It's
I'm
right,
sorry. It's just the donuts are not worth it. They're not good. They're not like because first Krispy Kreme I ever had was in San Diego. They opened up one. I used to go there like.
Well, nothing's good in San Diego.
No, these were good. There was good donuts. They'd be nice and hot and fresh and fluffy. And now they're like,
Well, San Diego doesn't do food, so
yeah. San Diego has no. They're not
no food. It's all subpar everything. Your Mexican's not as good as actual Mexican. You know, it's your burgers are shit. You know, like it's just.
That's why you have to go.
You have no pizza. Your water has to be brought in from Colorado. It's just terrible.
Well, to be fair, yes.
To be fair, yes.
Well, now they have so much. They've had so much rain the last year and a half, but it's all going into the ocean because they have nothing to
no reservoirs.
reservoirs.
You can just dump in the Salton Sea.
Should we build some reservoirs? Nah, instead of go in the ocean, fuck it. We'll just keep draining Colorado.
We've had so much rain over the last couple of days. It's truly amazing that the clouds parted on Monday and we didn't have rain. We had an eclipse. But every other day of the week, we've had clouds, rain, wind, clouds. And the one day that we needed to be sunny, it's like 75 degrees and clear skies. And so
I know today it was supposed to rain. It's raining now. But it was supposed to rain all day because my granddaughter was supposed to go to a Mudcat game, which is a minor league team for school for her.
What's a mudcat?
It's a Mudcat as a catfish type thing. You don't know this?
Oh, I'll say okay, it's a cat.
Yeah, I thought wouldn't have to explain that from one from Tennessee, but that's okay.
that's a South
No
bird.
one has ever referred to a catfish as a mudcat.
Well, it's North Carolina.
Exactly.
I don't
You guys
know.
are weird.
But anyway, it's a double A team. It's a nice field, but she's like 5, and I'm not on the list. My daughter didn't put any of us on the list to be a chaperone. I said, so wait, she's going to a game at 5? So I didn't want her going because I'm maybe protective. But luckily the game got canceled because it was supposed to rain. Well, it didn't rain till like 8:00 tonight. The game was at 11:00 this afternoon.
Whoops.
But I won. I said, where's she going? I go, I'll go. And she goes, well, you can't go sit with him. I go, I don't have to sit with him. How many people are going to be at this game at 11:00? At least I can sit there and make sure the chaperones are paying attention. I'm supposed to trust these people with my grandkids? Sorry.
You got other ones.
I only have one granddaughter, though. And again, I've told you before, she's like the judger, right? You know, she's
also the one with the potty mouth.
Yes, potty mouth judger. She's got a really good sense of humor, but she will, if like I said, if you're wearing the wrong outfit, she's going to tell you.
Jack doesn't have a favorite, by the way.
No,
I love all my grandkids actually. But I protect her because she's my granddaughter. All right. I mean, I would do the same for any of my grandkids.
Yeah.
But she's a judger, and we were at Costco the other day, and as we're walking in, Cindy made a comment about somebody who was wearing some pants they probably shouldn't be wearing. I go, well, it's present day today. It's just what people do.
Why is this kid a judgy kid? I don't know.
Yeah, well, she comes by it honestly because every female in our family is judging.
She should be on the Rantcast.
Yes. So anyway, so later on, this lady stopped in front of us, and her face was like, and she's just looking around, and I go to my wife, I go, oh, I guess she's seen what you were judging earlier.
Right.
And she doesn't take her eye off. I was just going. But before we went, I guess my daughter told her, don't ask for anything. You're not getting anything. You know, Papa and Gigi don't need to spend more money on you. Da, 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 da. So she got this giant pillow thing. There's like squishy. I forget what they're called.
Oh, Squishmallow?
Squishmallow.
Squishmallow. And she goes, oh, my wife goes, you want me to take a picture of it and send it to your mom? She goes, no. Now, my granddaughter is not afraid of a camera. She likes to get her picture taken. I go, why don't you want your picture taken? She goes, no, I don't need a picture like that. Well, it turns out that her mom had told her that we found out later the reason she didn't want her picture taken because her mom would have said, no, you can't have that.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I go, wow. I go, geez.
Smart.
That is
5
how
years
old?
old. 5.
My son's gonna be 5 in a week and a half.
Yeah, I go, I pity the guy that marries her. Jesus, judging the whole time.
This morning, I'll tell you. This morning, I had a battle with my almost 5-year-old. Son of a bitch, fucking dropped an F-bomb on me. I mean, I gotta commend him because
Where the fuck you learn that from?
He used it in the correct context. Not me. Actually, I do not swear in front of my kids. I think it's my wife. I think my wife is super embarrassed about it because it happened. But he was just pissed. He was pissed off, and he used it in the right context. So it was like
just a colorful metaphor.
Not bad.
Well,
Goes,
can I punish him for being right?
He goes, "You're such a fucking dad."
Wow.
Nice.
But he used it like the right expletive. Like he was using it with the right emotion, and he knows it's a bad word, so he was just using it because it was helping him like get it all out.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? What were you doing that he had to say you're such a fucking dad?
Getting him ready for school.
Oh.
Wow.
Like he didn't want to go to school this morning. He wanted to hang out and just chill. Like I was like, dude, yeah, I have to go to work. I can't go to work until you go to school, and you're not gonna make me late, buddy. It's not gonna happen. But he just didn't. There's a job for him on the show. Yeah. He just didn't want to have any of it, and he was battling with me. Like threw his shoes across the house. I had to go run across the house and go get it. Meanwhile,
so he's got your temper.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch out for those old neighbors.
Or yourself.
You're such a fucking dad. And I go, what did you just say? He said it again. I go, no, don't answer me. But his big thing now is he likes to. I bought the Spider-Man game that was the one of those came out a few years ago for PlayStation. I got him on the PC.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and he loves it. Like he loves watching. We'll play together. That's kind of his like special treat. He gets to sit in my lap and we'll play. I'll kill like a bunch of guys in the general area. And he'll come in and get the last guy. But that's like his favorite thing in the world to do now is to play with me with Spider-Man. And when he said that, I go, no Spider-Man.
Oh,
Not playing Spider-Man today. You're not gonna play Spider-Man tomorrow. He went fucking white.
2 days.
He's just like
2 days.
Oh yeah. Man, he's learning a lesson. He dropped an F-bomb, Jack. He's not even 5.
It's an F-bomb. It's 1 day.
Grandpa Jack's over here teaching his kids how to fucking cuss. You're just being a parent.
I can't in good conscience just let him get away with it.
But 2 days, I think it's kind of harsh.
Well, tough shit.
Whatever, Jack. You're such a pushover. It's because you're a grandparent, Jack.
I am looking through grandparent because if my kids had done it, it'd been like a month.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's different. I'm trying to get into heaven now.
There's a reason why Jay is the way Jay is. Why Jay is Jay.
No, Jay was just born that way.
The first time my son cussed, it was damn it, and it was right as I was getting on the highway, and he said, damn it, because I usually say that as we're getting on the highway, and But my wife caught it. She was like, "What did you say?" And he's like, "Damn it!" And I was like, I'm driving. I'm like, "Oh," and so she was like, "I think he learned that from his grandma." And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Yeah,
That's what it
sure."
was. Yeah, because you don't want to be the person that
It
teaches
came
your
it came
kids.
out, I think, pretty quickly that he learned it from me.
I know one
And
time I was
then
driving, I had Alex and Zach in the car. It's in his someone cut. I go fucker, and I go, oh, I'm sorry guys, don't say that word. Don't say. They go, oh, it's okay. Our mom says that all the time. So I go, okay,
Well,
so I'm in the clear on that one.
I know I told y'all this story. Y'all might have forgotten it though, but I remember getting my ass handed to me for this one, which it wasn't even my fault. It was just misunderstanding. It was, my dad's name is Greg, and my last name is Dunn, so his initials are GD. And
okay.
And when I was going to like 4-H camp or somewhere, he had this really, really old suitcase from when he was like in college that was good for a kid at this, because it was small. I could, a few days worth of clothes. And I said, "Where's the GD suitcase?" And my parents
it had his initials on it.
That's his initials were on the suitcase, and so it was GD. So that's always what I referred to as like it's the GD suitcase because it has GD written on the suitcase. And I ever go, "Where's?" And I looked at my parents, were like, "Where's the GD suitcase?" And they just kind of went, "What?" I was like, "Where's the GD suitcase?" And they're like, "Do you want to say that again?" And I'm just sort of like,
"Where's the GD?
Where's the GD
suitcase?" And then you said, "What the fuck are you not understanding?"
Yeah, proceed to getting my ass whooped. And not understanding why.
I said GD, it's GD.
Takes off the belt.
Yeah, and
say it one more time.
Open your mouth. Here comes the lava boy.
They finally figured it out after
as they were patching up your back.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, you meant? Oh, I got it now.
Oh,
Sorry."
okay. We'll go to
Here's
bed.
your
No
skin.
supper for you.
We're putting your flesh back on you. I did write this down. It's not as funny, but I was at a gas station. I had two of my grandkids in the car. One is Hayden, who's like 4, and does repeat everything that people say. Now this car drives up, and they're blaring their music. And I've had this policy. I used to do the same thing. I don't get mad when people are blaring their music because I did the same thing. People look at me and I go, "Fuck you," whatever. Well, this song is saying the N-word nonstop. And I'm like going, and I'm looking at my grandson, and I have my windows are up, but I can still hear every word of the song. So here's my point. I go, what if my grandson, who can't say that word, hears that word and says it, right? Now this is where it's like I wanted to say to the person, "Hey, I know you can listen to your music, but my grandkid here, what if he I didn't say anything. I just was like, okay, he's not saying. I was talking to him, trying to get him to not listen to, so he couldn't hear the music. But I was like, where is there should be a line somewhere where if you want to listen to it in your car and you're driving along and you're cool with it. But again, that's a word that's very, it's you can't say it. So it's like
yeah.
Right. So what's my grandson hears that and he all of a sudden he starts saying that at school. What's going to happen? So I'm just saying, shouldn't people realize that maybe they should be playing that music with those words so loud? Again, I don't mind people playing loud music because I did the same thing.
I mean, I think in general, you should be blasting profanities out of your car stereo.
Which I never did. My music was clean.
Like if you're driving down the highway by yourself, by all means, rock out with your whatever out. You know what I mean? But like, if it's you're pulling up to a stop sign,
it wasn't a guy. It was a
don't
female.
be a fucking tool.
I'm like going. I was like going. But that was just. I just started thinking. I go, what if he starts saying that? I go. So I was like, so Hayden, what did you do at school today? Blah blah blah. And I hadn't even started filling up my tank yet. I didn't start till they stopped the music, and they were there for about a minute, just boom, 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 the same word. I'm like going, oh my god, is there any other words in the song?
Sure.
So it's just stupid. Like, I can't stand when people drive up like with their music. Like, I mean, drive with your music loud. Fucking go nuts. But if you're in a public place, you're pulling up in a gas station or a stoplight.
Now, see, when I was young, I did
turn it down. No one gives a shit about your music.
I did turn it down, but when I was driving down this road, I would have it blaring and just
Sure.
But-
I'm convinced that there's a good third of, especially the U.S. population, that has main character syndrome, is what they're calling it.
Oh,
these
yeah.
days.
Yo, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
Where it's just like, everyone else is in my world, and everyone should be looking and pay attention to me.
Correct.
And
Right.
You think
and
it's
that's where
you think it's because of social media?
I think
No,
it's
I
part
think
of
it's because
it.
their parents didn't pay attention.
That
to them.
too, yeah. I think it's a
Yeah.
combination. It's always a combination of things.
Yeah, not. There's no silver bullet on that, but yeah, for sure. But we have a lot of motorcycles that ride past our house because we're just 2 blocks from the
Hells
like
Angels?
the downtown, like our downtown of our city here. Like there's
Yeah.
a couple bars, and so that we always get bikers that drive by blasting their mufflers really, really loud. Now I've thought of this kind of like a device. Okay, it has to be metal or somehow, and it's got to have like these barbs in it, but you stuff it down somebody's like muffler. Okay, now we can still like blow out the exhaust, right? But as it does, as opposed to having that loud like like loud kind of like obnoxious sound, it sounds like a kazoo. So it's just like wee, and it just kind of like demasculates the fucking motorcycle.
like the-
'cause
like the-
what the fuck?
I did
don't-
see.
it's
I'm not sure if you ever seen it. Somebody took one of those really good thick balloons and cut like a little bitty slit, in it, and put it around one of the mufflers of like a car like that. That just and it makes this it just totally makes it was hilarious to watch.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Well,
Just for-
that
like
happened to
every
me.
single
You're
one.
talking about loud cars. I had to pick up my daughter from school. She's going to nursing school. So I had to pick her up and then go pick up my granddaughter from the school. So I'm going this way, and this car pulls up. And I just kind of went like, looked and went, okay, it's just a small car. I just was making so much noise. And I didn't see this, but I guess he got behind me. He got out of his lane, got behind me. I really wasn't paying attention. I'm talking to my daughter. And so then he gets in the lane next to me, then cuts me off, and then flips me off. Now, I didn't see them flip me off. And my daughter goes, "Why'd he flip you off?" I go, "Who?" He goes, "That car." I go, "I don't know. I don't know what I did to him." He flipped you off. So I'm still going the same direction. I'm going straight. He's turning left. As he turns left, he waves to me, bye. I go, I honestly have no idea. I kind of looked at him when he came up because his car was one of those, he hit the gas. It makes a lot of noise. I looked at him. I go, but I had sunglasses. I don't know how he didn't see my eye. I was just like, what the hell? I had no idea. Now, my younger days, he flipped me off. I would have chased after him. But now people shoot people.
Exactly.
So I'm older. I'm a little. I wouldn't say wiser.
Don't
I'm
worry,
older.
that main character does not have a happy ending in his movie.
I like what Mommy Mac says here. Jack would have pulled up to him and said, "Are you yellow?
Are you yeller?
Are you yellow?"
I was like, I don't know. And I go, and I'm not even following him. I'm just going the same. You're going left. I'm going straight. If I was following you, I would have got behind you. And his car wasn't that fast.
Sure,
He's
never
just
is.
driving this beat up old, Toyota, whatever it was. I mean, it just was a piece of junk. And I'm like, going, I have no idea what I did to him. No idea.
I've never had
No
the
clue.
I've never had the courage to do this, but I've always wanted to. It was a meme a couple years ago, or just someone had posted, and it was someone saying, "I accidentally cut this guy off the other day, and I felt terrible about it because I knew I was in the wrong." He goes, and then the guy pulled up next to me, and instead of giving me the bird, he just gave me a thumbs down, and somehow that hurt worse. Yeah.
I get
favorite,
that. I get that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite passive aggressive road rage moves, and I do this all the time, is if someone's like cutting out and they shouldn't be. Like I've got the right of way, they're about to cut me off, and then they lock up because they realize they fucked up, or I don't slow down. I actually kind of get closer to them just to fucking teach them a lesson.
I used to do that.
Yeah, I love doing this when I
But I'm
drive by.
mature
Make
now.
sure they see me. I just go. And like the reaction you get from that is fucking gold. Like I've seen people get so pissed. I'm like,
I used to give him the Dave.
and for those listening at home, if this is me like shaking my head and wagging my finger in a disappointed look.
I get that. I think we've all had
The
something.
people that turn in front of you that don't signal, it's like
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
I go, just let me know what you're doing.
So,
sorry.
speaking of enjoying traffic and road rage, and I've mentioned this a couple times, and I get it. You guys didn't get to see the total eclipse, okay? But in my neck,
You
of
know
woods
the
in
next.
Montana,
But before you get into your story, you know where the next one's going to be
Montana and North Dakota, or you mean the one in Spain?
2044, right?
in 2044 or 2045. It's going to go directly over fucking Disney
Nick's,
World.
well, in Nick's house, it's going to go over Denver. So
That's
the
awesome.
one in 45.
I'll
Red
be-
Rocks.
It's supposed to
I'll
come
be-
through
it's not
Colorado.
More Colorado
Red
Springs.
Rocks.
I'll
Yeah.
be 80.
Okay.
No, it won't
I'll
be. It won't
be,
be. It'll be mostly over Morrison, Chris. It won't be in Denver. It'll be more Colorado Springs area and Pebble.
Okay.
Pebble.
Oh, okay.
Seventy-
I thought it would be
south.
closer up to you. So it's
I
south
may not
of
live
you.
to
Okay.
see it. I'll be 79.
We'll be around.
We'll be pretty
79.
cool too.
My we were just our grandkids will be like 25, 26.
You should
Back-
make it a goal to outlive fucking OJ.
All right. So
What do you
enjoy.
guys-
It does blow my mind.
76.
It blows my mind, that he died at 76, in the fact that when this happened, I thought he was old then. It's like
Right.
he was 46. I'm like, shit. I was like,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Doesn't fit.
So
Matt, sorry, I cut you off.
Go ahead,
You're
go ahead.
talking about
one of
eclipse.
the things that I enjoyed about the total eclipse, because I didn't have to go anywhere. It was just happening right in our yard. The last time I saw it was in 2017. Drove down to Kentucky, experienced some Walking Dead level hellscape, like highway traffic. Like it was nuts. Anyway, so as we're kind of spending the day waiting for it to, I'm just on my phone, like looking at the Google Maps, like watching all of the traffic lines, like coming into Indianapolis, because there was this heavy flow coming from Chicago, up from Louisville, and then over from Cincinnati. Everybody kind of coming towards Indiana, which is a first. Why would you come to this hellscape? And then watching it after it happened, everybody leaving in those same exact directions. But there was almost a solid red line from Indy to Chicago. So it's a weird thing. It's like, you're like, I'm not in traffic, but I just want to enjoy the fact that other people are in traffic and I'm not in it. So yeah, heavy flow. I use that term.
So you were happy that it was just at your house.
It was just at my house. Yeah, we just got to spend the day. And again, the clouds parted. It was a beautiful day. Got to see totality. And everybody that was, so there's a lot of people that didn't get to see the one in 2017. And so, dealing with like neighbors or people in Indiana, they're just like, I don't know what the big deal about is. This is just a bunch of bullshit. And then they experience it and they're like, wow, that was life-changing. That's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like seriously, 180 on the like, oh, that was a lot more incredible than what I thought it was. Oh, wow. It's like, yep, it was, wasn't it?
Could have rented out your house for $500 a night.
No, wouldn't do it.
I'm thinking about doing that here when the World Cup comes.
World Cup, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Or I could just visit you and crash at your house, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
that'd be cool.
$500 a night.
Oh shit!
You're making that on the podcast. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, I mean, I was. There's a number of games that are gonna be played like 15 minutes away from where I live. So I was like, I wonder if I could rent it out for a good chunk of change, at least pay my mortgage.
The only problem is, those fans are going to be drinking.
Well, yeah, that's just it, right? So, like, I mean, if I were to do that, I would try to seek out, like, maybe, I don't know, production crews or something. Like, I wouldn't want to rent it out to hooligans. I'd want to rent it out to,
Yeah.
And at that point, Chris's son will be a little bit older, a little bit wiser.
The fuck you do in my room?
He'll have a switchblade.
fucking World Cup.
Get the fuck out! You're such a fucking wanker. Or whatever. Sucker.
Going back to OJ real quick, I had a good OJ story. I know I've told this before, but it's been a while. When I was coaching travel hockey, we were playing. Simi Valley was coming to our rink, and one of the players was Robert Shapiro's son. one of OJ's lawyers. And so I kept joking, I wonder if the knife is in the kid's hockey bag. And someone dared me to go over and say it with him standing there. So I did walk over there and I said, I wonder if OJ's knife is in this bag. And then I walked away. How many times in life you get to say something like that?
What if you haven't heard that one before?
He didn't say it. He just kind of gave me a dirty look, and I walked away. I go, just a joke. Lighten up, Francis.
We've been watching SNL.
I was going to go like this
with my kids and I.
I can't get the glove on. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I mentioned this last week though. Like, we've been watching SNL or old SNL episodes. And we caught one where it was right after he passed away. He did Weekend Update.
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald, thanks. I was blanking on his name for a second there, but they played an old clip from that. And it's funny because this is what my kids remember. And this is what they knew of O.J. Simpson when we talked about it today. They remembered the Norm Macdonald clip of him saying, "Hey, that's my lucky stabbing hat." So I was like, if that's what you remember of OJ, then fine. So yeah, Norm Macdonald, yeah.
Legend. Dirty Work. Great movie.
It totally is a forgotten classic and overlooked classic.
I don't think I've seen it. Who's in it?
Oh,
obviously
Norm Macdonald. Chris Farley's got a few cameos in it. I always
the coked out guy from Howard Stern and
I always forget him. Yeah, it's like
I know who you're talking about. His nose got all messed up, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna blow you away, Jack, but it's definitely worth a watch. You know, it's
a phenomenal movie.
I might have seen it, I just don't remember. But
it came out like 97, somewhere in there. 98. No, because Chris had died in 98. So
it's been that long. That's right. It's been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's got to be a 97.
That's the Saigon horse.
That's the Saigon bit off my nose.
I was watching YouTube today, and they were talking about
directed by
Brian. What's the guy that's with Ron Howard's production company? Brian
Cranston.
No, he's the producer. He was talking about the movie. He was talking about the movie Splash, and he said that
Artie Lang.
Artie Lang is
not even a fucking Brian.
That's not who I was talking about. But anyway, I know Artie Lang is the coke guy. But anyway, he was talking about the scene where he's playing racquetball with Tom Hanks, John Candy. He said he was so hungover. He was out drinking with Jack Nicholson all night, came right to the shoot and did the shoot. Like the ball where he gets hit in the head with the ball, that wasn't planned. He just got hit in the head with the ball because he was so hungover. He goes,
wow.
He was professional. He goes, I went out with him one night. He had 17 rum and cokes.
What movie?
Splash.
Oh, Splash. Okay. Yeah.
And who knew Daryl Hannah was married? Who knew Daryl Hannah was married to
Neil Young
at some point? Neil Young. I was like going.
Yeah.
That's why Crosby, Stills and Nash & Young broke up again.
No shit, Daryl Hannah.
2018. I want to say they got married.
I wouldn't have put them two together.
It's been at least 5 or 6 years. I mean,
Brian Grazer. Thank you, Matt Treese. Yeah, Brian Grazer was the. He was telling all these stories about
we
John
would get
Candy.
there soon enough.
That's why David Crosby and Neil Young, and why Graham Nash didn't speak to David for like the last 10 years of his life or more because David objected to Neil divorcing Peggy, who was his wife since 1976. Because he's like, she's put up with all of your shit for over 40 years. You know, it's like she deserves more than you just dumping her.
He's not wrong, but is that his say?
It wasn't his say, but that's why he got pissed. Is because it's like it's not his say. But David was always opinionated, and then Peggy died like 2 years later of cancer. And so it was one of those things where it just made Neil look like a complete asshole.
Right. Yeah. I don't think Neil cared, did he?
Neil never cares. And then Graham as well was not happy in his marriage, and then so he took Neil's side on it, and that's why they just couldn't get along.
Really?
And and then even when David knew he was
jealous,
they did have a band together. That's true.
Rick James and Neil Young.
Rick James, bitch.
Rick James,
super freak.
Super freaking.
Shit, I had something else to say other than that though. But
I'm sorry. I got...
No, not that. Not just about music, but just
No,
something.
I
else
was
you
just
guys come out earlier.
I found that out like 6 months ago, but then I saw it again yesterday. I'm like going, I just didn't see that coming.
It is a wild thing. I think I talked to my friend about this just about a month ago when I visited him, and he's a big music guy, and so we're talking. And I was like, yeah, Neil Young married Daryl Hannah, and he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, no, really, like, and he's like, no, and I had to pull it up on
she
Google
was with she was with JFK Jr. Jesse
Yeah.
JFK.
Really?
I don't want to say.
I mean,
Junior.
Neil Young's definitely batting way out of his league.
Yeah,
Daryl Hannah, like you
No,
see them
kicking his
together,
coverage
and you're
for
like,
sure.
she still looks great.
yeah.
So.
Okay, you want to talk about out of his league? Okay, that's the one thing that's truly not believable in the movie Grumpy Old Men is the fact that
Oh,
sure.
The guy from Few Good Men, the actor. What's his name? But anyway, the son actually ends up with Daryl Hannah. You're like, are you fucking serious? Like, what?
Few Good Men.
Yeah, the actor who is Jack Lemmon's son in Grumpy Old Men.
Oh,
is the actor
Few
that was
Good
the
Men?
other lawyer in A Few Good Men. He's also in.
I know who you're talking
Usual
about.
Suspects. It's like Kevin.
Was he in The Odd
Kevin
Couple?
Pollak.
Huh?
Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak. That's it. Yeah.
He's in That Thing You Do.
Yes.
Oh.
Kevin Pollak is Jack Lemmon's son in A Grumpy Old Man. And they're in or is it the other way around? No, Kevin Pollak is the other guys.
Well, now that to be fair, now that I've seen that Neil Young is married Daryl Hannah, it makes more sense. Yeah, I'm okay with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, I'm like, I agree with you. I was like, but I think Daryl Hannah, like I said, she was with
what's weird though is that Neil Young was attracted to her because he actually thought she was part mermaid.
He likes fish. What do you want to do?
Hey, you get a hankering for that flavor.
Hanking for a hunk of cheese.
Jack, going back to early
I don't
80s
know where
film,
I was going.
I read something maybe a month ago or so about one of your favorite movies, Stripes, which I did not know.
Okay.
Was that the scene where they're all getting their hair cut?
Yeah.
You noticed that Bill Murray and Harold Ramis still had their hair after it.
Yeah. Well, most of it. Yeah.
And it's because they were the headliner, so they were not required by contract to actually get their head shaved. But John Candy, who was still a kind of an unknown actor at the time, did not know that he had to get his head shaved. And so when you see him walk out with his hair in his hands, that's a genuine reaction.
The actors didn't know they were getting their head
They did
shaved.
not know that. Yeah. And so the whole Hare Krishna, that's a genuine reaction from John Candy going like, you motherfucker. Like.
Stripes is a great movie. I need to watch that, but I got to watch these shows first. So
You do. You have to watch these shows. All of these shows.
Stripes is a great movie.
Well, Jackie, you always are our big toe.
Any of you homos touch me or my stuff, and I'll kill you. Lighten Up Francis. Who has? I probably use Lighten Up Francis at least. I use it with my grandkids now.
Yeah.
When they're having a fit, I go, Lighten Up Francis. And they just look at me like they don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did I ever tell you? And I'm not sure. It's one of those memories. I can't remember if it was a term that you and Jay coined back in the Lost podcast days, or was something I just came up with. But you had the regular people from season 1 and season 2, and also in season 3, you get the tailies. Mm-hmm. And I remember joking at the time with my sister, going like, "What's next? Season 4 is going to be the wingies." Just the people that they duct tape to the wings, like just coming out of nowhere.
I don't think that was us.
Okay, so I remember calling them wingies.
You can take credit for that.
I remember calling them wingies, and my nephews for the longest time thought that was a real thing. So when they refer to cast members, because they're big TV nuts too. Like whenever a random new person gets into the show, like, oh, he's a wingy. And like so many people have looked at them like, what the hell are you talking about? And they thought that was like a genuine thing that people said. I was like, no, that's just something your uncle made up.
That's
your
funny.
Uncle Nick just he's fucking with you.
Yeah,
it's a family tradition.
Yeah, that's what I do.
No, we made up log carrying guy, so that was
that's true.
I know Chris has a log carrying guy shirt.
I did. I don't still.
I think it's probably a little bit too small for me now. I gained some weight since then.
What did you do with it?
Probably got rid of it.
It carries his other log.
Think of the other log. Yeah. I mean, think about it, Jack. That shirt is
20 years old.
not 20, close to it. Yeah.
15, 16 years old.
The show's been over for
I don't know
14
where mine
years, so at least
I don't know
at least
where mine
16
is.
years. At least 16 years.
What'd you do with it? I have no idea where mine is either.
I mean, the best shirt was the first. The best shirt was the first one, though. With just the iPod with the.
Yeah, I always wanted one of those, and I never got one. I was pissed.
Oh man, you want a poster? I got like 5,000
No.
posters up here that we didn't sell.
I'm
That
good.
the other day I was moving stuff around. I go, God, I saw these stupid fucking posters. Oh, God. We'll
Yeah, the
sell them for
OG
we'll sell them
blue
for like
shirt with the
$17 a
iPod,
piece.
the Dharma logo. That was the best.
I don't think I even have that one.
Yeah.
Because the guy that made him, we were supposed to get but then Jay started giving them to someone else. I don't know who it was, but it
Yeah.
wasn't me. Let me think. Who was it that he gave them to? Let's see. I can't remember. Might have married her. I don't know. But
I remember. I'm not sure if it was the 30th. It was one of the auctions you guys did for Autism Speaks. And I remember buying at that auction. It was a season 6 autographed T-shirt by Benjamin Linus. And the thing is, it was on a white shirt. And I always hate about white T-shirts is that you only have like a 2-year lifespan with a white T-shirt.
Yeah, you get pit stains and
You
all
get
that
pit
stuff.
stains and just ring around the collar.
That's why
and
you
just
need
get
Gold
dingy. No.
Bond.
Bond. Go Bond.
Bond. Gold Bond.
What'd I say? Gold bar?
Now with CBD oil.
We should probably take another commercial break just to help Colleen out.
And then get to the emails.
Why she got all my
Yeah.
shirts.
Oh, you're still bitter?
No, I'm not bitter. No.
All right, one.
Much.
I
Zip it.
still have merchandise that people didn't bid on sitting up in my attic.
No shit.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. I know when the Dharmalars had broke up and we auction off, if we reach a certain amount, they'll come
They got back
for
together
another
for $3,000.
And you know how it reached that much? I go, we're still on like $200. I kept lying and people kept bidding. It got up to like
You
2,000.
fucking lied?
Yeah, I lied.
fucking lied.
I said,
Oh, way to go, George Washington.
I think we're at like
Now you'll
$300
never
something.
be president.
People like going, come on, you got to bid. We got to have the Dharmalars back. I'm like, and I go, God, I can't believe people aren't paying to see these guys.
You should-
I thought these people liked them.
You should try that with Bibles.
I'm thinking about it. I'm a religious guy, and it seems
Yeah.
to be working for the other guy. So
Gold-plated Bible.
yeah, it got up over $3,000. I told Ralph, I said, just to let you know, I was lying the whole time. it got up to like 1,000. It's supposed to be like 1,000. It got to like $1,000, whatever it was, in like the first 10 minutes.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. I do what I can for the cause.
Talk shoe.
Was it on Talk Shoe back then?
I
You were the
don't know.
band,
I
you were
remember
the,
that.
You were the band
Talk
hammer.
show.
I remember
That's
that.
right.
You band people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, do we have any emails?
Oh, yeah. Okay. 1 second. Let me bring them up.
I think Chris is getting tired.
Very,
Well, he's getting old. So.
Yeah.
very.
He's going to start beating up himself.
All right. So for everyone out there, we had a small incident. We actually have a few, but I'm going to the first one. We had a small incident last week, and the person issued an apology to Matt for making him feel bad. And so he wanted me to read the email apologizing to Matt. So, dear RCAD, just wanted to send an email and apologize to Matt. Any comment I've ever made in the chat over these years was only supposed to be a joke or a jab at whichever host it was directed towards. It never intended as a personal attack or on anyone. I joked that way with my friends, but as the saying goes, I guess I didn't read the room right.
Oh.
I have been commenting recently that I don't care. It was just a play on the host saying that they didn't care if people listened or not. Nothing more than that. I wouldn't have tuned in every week if I didn't care. I personally think Matt is a great guy. I would take your advice and move on from watching and listening to the show, at least for the foreseeable future. I saw one keyboard warrior in a post say he would take care of me and I should F off. I'm 6'4" and 275 pounds, so I don't think I have anything to worry about there. But I don't want any comments to initiate hate or violence against anyone, especially myself. And I really don't want the comments to make anyone feel bad or take them for anything more than they have been. An attempt at humor. I wish all four of you the best in life, and thank you for the many years of fun and entertainment. Again, Matt, I am sorry that if I offended you or said anything or hurt your feelings. That was never intentional, and I truly mean no harm. And with that, keep on rambling, and someone please rake up Randy at the end of this podcast.
Well, thank you for the apology. If I came off as being brash, it's only because I felt poked too many times. So, had I been drinking? Yes.
Okay.
If you would like to listen in the future, great. We don't want to lose listeners, and it is not my intention to scare off listeners. However, I just kind of said what was on my mind. So in that moment, after many times of feeling like I couldn't say, and I thought about this actually afterwards. I thought, there was a time in which the four of us would meet without a live feed, without a live chat. And I never thought about what I would say. I never gave a consideration like, oh, hey, I've been talking for 2 minutes. I've been talking too loud. And all of a sudden it's all about me. Well, I've never wanted it to be that. And, but I also don't want it to be something where I have to self-govern myself because I think someone's going to say something about me. So, if things came to a head or a wrinkle, I hope that this person finds peace of mind, and we'll still perhaps listen to the show in the future. So we've enjoyed their comments in the past, and that's all I got to say about that. So
Here, good on both of you.
Good job, guys.
So
Well done.
One more email from Dennis, titled New Shows. As I suspected in my email of last week, you were already aware of the 3-body problem and Steve, which I needed to watch that.
oh yeah, Steve.
I
I still have to finish Steve, but yes.
Good discussion on both. Before I mention the 2 new shows I planned for this week, I watched episode 1 of Fallout this afternoon, and as someone who knows nothing of the video game, this show has promise. Not a spoiler.
That's a good perspective.
Not a spoiler, but they had me when it opens with Walton Goggins. Is that how you say it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's in it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In a cowboy outfit at the kid's birthday party.
Yep.
Okay.
I like Chris's face right here. He doesn't want to. Such a
I don't wanna say
poker
that.
face.
Isn't that from
Yeah.
Parenthood when Steve Martin does it? Remember in Parenthood, Steve Martin dressed up as a cowboy?
Yeah.
You guys see?
Randy,
Great segue.
I just woke up. What I miss? That's from Randy.
All the drama.
Yeah. All right. Yesterday, I watched the pilot of Parish on AMC, which stars. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's here?
No. Yeah.
He's risen
Again?
I never can say this actor's name, but Gustavo from Breaking Bad.
Oh, Gustavo
Fring?
Fring.
Esteban.
It's
Giacchino.
Giacchino.
Carlo.
No, that's
Giancarlo
that's
Esposito.
Giancarlo.
That's the
There we go.
composer.
Thank you.
Esteban. Who the fuck is Esteban?
Esteban. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
It stars Jesus. Oh, you mean from the Big Lebowski?
Yeah. You try to bowl that, you do that shit on my legs, I pull the gun up your ass and pull the trigger to go click, click.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
So he is a professional getaway driver and aspiring fixer in New Orleans. Obviously, lots of car chases and close calls. If you liked him in Kaleidoscope, you'll probably like this. I mean, we got a few more senses, but did you guys watch Kaleidoscope? That was decent.
No.
I never liked turning it.
No. So Kaleidoscope is a normal story of kind of like a bank heist, but they tell it not in order.
Oh, like Tarantino order?
Yeah, it's like and so that's what they kind of do as a gimmick. And it's decent. It's worth a watch.
Like Memento.
It's kind of exactly.
Mentos.
Okay, so and
The
starting
Fresh Maker.
starting April 30th, an FX production available only on Hulu. The Veil is an international spy thriller starring Elizabeth Moss and Josh Charles from The Good Wife. The trailer looks very good. Dennis, I have not heard of either one of those shows, but I'll write them down. Thanks, Dennis.
All right. Yeah.
The Sting. Oh, okay, Matt, you can just say that to us.
Well, I was letting you talk. I was letting you read through the email, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Now, have you never seen Sting to this point?
They said rewatch.
Oh, you rewatch. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I still think Butch Cassidy is a superior film, but the Sting is good.
Sting, What's the problem with Sting? It's a one and done.
Yeah.
Because it's a great movie.
That moment though, the reveal when he's got the threes, and then all of a sudden it's changed. I love that. Like,
because I never saw it come. I never saw that part coming.
Yeah, I didn't either. And it's, if I've seen The Sting, I would have watched it in the 90s. I was in a heavy 70s movie period there in the 90s. I would watch like anything 70s, anything with Pacino or Brando or Redford.
Have you ever seen Dog Day Afternoon?
Such a great
film. Of course, Dog Day Afternoon. Love Dog Day Afternoon.
All the President's Men.
Yes, All the President's Men, and then I'm trying to think of the other one, The French Connection. Gene
French
Hackman.
Connection, yes.
Anything with Gene Hackman too, I would watch, like from the 70s. So I love that period of time. So the one thing about The Sting though is like the music is the entertainer. So good luck going to an ice cream parlor, because you're just going to hear that song for the rest of your life.
What about And Justice for All with Al Pacino?
Thank you. Thanks for singing it.
No, I mean, did you see Injustice for All?
Yeah, Injustice for All. No, I've seen that.
It's a great album.
Okay, yeah.
It is a great album.
I have Frozen, so I decided.
This is the last known photograph of Jack here after BJ picked him up and gave him the bear.
Where's BJ's hand? That's what I want to know now, because I have this painful look on my face.
It would be really deep down, but I guess so. Yeah.
BJ is playing Bob.
And Miami Mike, yes, I have seen a small independent film called The Godfather. So yeah, all of the parts, all of the fathers.
Did you ever see the movie? I think it's an 80s movie. It might be late 70s with Robert Duvall and the kid from Caddyshack. What's his name? Noonan. It's called The Ace.
No, can't.
It was released, and then they re-released it with a different title. I can't remember if it was The Ace or The Great It was The Ace at first, and then they called it The Great Santini or vice versa. I can't remember. But it's one of those movies you haven't seen it. It's great acting, great, and it has the Gwyneth Paltrow's mom in it. She plays the
wow.
So yeah, so there you go.
Yeah,
well, The Ace. Santini.
It's either The Ace or The Great Santini. It's Robert Duvall.
When I think of Robert Duvall, post, or is it no
Godfather?
Wrong film. There's a World War II film he did where he's a Nazi. He has an eye patch. It's like something like Where Eagles Dare, but it's not Where Eagles Dare.
Oh, it's a spin-off of Eagles Dare, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. But that's what I think of, like post Godfather, Robert Duvall. Because I like that. I mean, like you, Jack, I like World War II films. I think they're good. And that's one of those that you see it every now and then come on like AMC or something, and it's a film that people don't talk about, which I like it though. It's got like the typical players in it. Like I think Donald Sutherland's in it as a resistance fighter, and You got some other people in it. It's a good film, but typical 70s like type film.
Yeah. 70s had some good movies.
It did. Like I think it's kind of I think as a child I didn't like 70s films because I always felt the plot took too long compared to.
Well, and the
know?
endings of a lot of 70s movies are kind of sad or downers or dark.
Yeah,
You know, they don't.
It's a different.
Well, there's
Yeah.
doom and gloom. It was, Omega Man and
Post Vietnam, post Watergate, like shit
Yeah.
gets fucked. Like so things go sideways.
Soylent Green.
So,
Soylent Green is people. I still like when they
Charlton
did that.
Heston.
I still like
right?
when they did that on Saturday Night Live, and Phil Hartman is Charlton Heston, and he's doing Soylent Green is people.
It's people.
So the crackers are people? What? Because the scoops are coming. The scoops come pick up the. I remember showing Jay that movie. He's just like going, "This movie sucked." I go, "It's a classic. It's a Soylent Green. Come on, man."
But it's one of those
Not my
references
son
too
anymore.
that people. If you say that to a lot of people, if you say like it's people, like they might have heard the reference, but they don't know what it's to.
No.
It's just one of the things about getting old that sucks.
You had Jaws. Jaws, great movie. That's what we should have done a versus on. Which era had the best movies? What decade?
That's so debatable, though. I mean,
Well, that's why you have a versus.
That's the point.
I don't want to have something where people disagree.
yeah.
Jack can't even take
It's
off
one
my
of those.
comment.
It's one of those things, kind of like music, where like
Yep.
I tend to think of like 65 through 75 as a music period instead of like saying just 60s music because it's very different from early 60s to late 60s.
Yeah.
Anything post 73, I think of differently. So
Exactly.
I kind of go up to 73. Depends on the artist or the musician. It's like there's this moment where the Rolling Stones get better and the Beatles break up. So it's like the Stones go up.
I was
and
never a
the
big
Beatles are
Stones
going.
fan, but some of their music's okay.
I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, I think Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, and Sticky Fingers are their trilogy of great films. I mean, people
Goat's Head Soup.
Exile. I think Goat's Head Soup's when they started to go down.
Well, yeah.
What BJ was doing to me.
Exile is my favorite. So
see, I think Exile would have been a better single record instead of. You can make the same argument with the White Album, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying like I don't know. Sometimes it's just like I love disc 1 of Exile. Disc 2's got a couple good tracks, but I don't put it on.
I just like to get my rocks off. Okay.
With Gold Bond.
With Gold Bond.
I mean, I will say though that Tumbling Dice is probably my top 2 Rolling Stones of all time. It's one of those where I will not skip if it comes on. I love Tumbling Dice.
Tumbling Dice.
I love Rolling Stone music when they use it in like Vietnam movies
or Oliver Stone movies
because they're using the good songs. It fits that.
I can't think of
I like Vietnam movies when they use Jimi Hendrix all along the Watchtower. Just show me the.
Yes.
It's every fucking Vietnam movie. That and Fortunate Sons. Like Jesus.
I love Vietnam movies. They give me that uplifting feeling. Still reminds me of the Naked Gun when Leslie Nielsen and Presley, what's her name? Elvis Presley's wife, Priscilla Presley, come walking out of the theater laughing, and they just saw Platoon.
Right. Yeah,
because Platoon is not a funny movie.
No, there's so many. God, I love those movies. I really wish that someone would make another movie. Like, 'cause I loved Hot Shots. I love the Naked Gun movies. There's so many. They don't make comedies like that anymore. There's even a bar like
Tropic Thunder is probably like the closest
thing
we've got.
Yeah,
the problem is people do not pay attention like they used to. They're too stuck on their phone, so that I don't think they would laugh. I don't think they'd get it.
Well, it's like there's a scene. I'm not sure which Naked Gun it is, but there's a scene where he's in a bar and they're doing the whole "play it again, Sam" type stuff, and every picture that's in the wall behind him is all a disaster. So it's like, the Hindenburg, it's like everything to the Titanic. It's all the things that are like, just like, they're all horrible pictures.
Well, it's like an airplane when the plane's in trouble and they're showing the movie. It's a plane crashing. That's funny stuff. Anyway, are we ready to wrap it up? Since
We
I'm
should
so-
end
Yeah.
this frozen banana disaster.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you joined us. And people in the chat who joined us. My
I hope
chat's
I didn't
frozen.
scare anybody else away.
You scared
today.
me.
The eagle has landed. Okay, there we go.
Eagle
Sorry.
has landed.
That's the film that Robert Duvall's in. 1970,
Eagles
1976, The Eagle Has Landed is what it's called.
That's the spinoff of
Where Eagles Dare.
Eagles Dare with
Yeah.
Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood.
Anyway, sorry. I
Quite the-
wanted to say that.
Quite the combo. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll be here. Are we be here next Thursday?
I will not be. I'm going to be in Houston Wednesday, and I fly.
That's their
back-
problem.
Yeah, I fly back Thursday, but I don't think I'll be back in time to podcast. My flight's at. I might, but I don't know. You can
All right,
guess and go
so
ahead, but I
wild
might join
card.
you. I might join you mid podcast if I.
All right. So let's do if everyone else can do Thursday, do Thursday.
Sure.
All right.
Sounds good. We'll be back.
Anyway, this show is driven by our patrons. We'd like to thank 4 patrons right now who reached a certain level. And that's Eckhart, Richter, Glaffelder, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed, the creepy poopy letter carrier. Thanks for what you do. And thanks for everyone who listens to this podcast, shares this podcast, and enjoys this podcast. That's all I got. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Good evening.
Hopefully
See
I
ya.
can end this thing.
Great.
And
It
good
was
night.
great. Thank you.
God bless.